Hey, Mattow, why do you constantly think we're all ugly?
Well, think about it, Anawa. We're all pretty much the same, so we basically all look like Vakama.
This is why I'm defecting. I hope you know this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Recap Review. Today, I'm going over the ever-often requested Toa Hordika. From left to right, we have set number 8738, Toa Hordika Winua. 8739, Toa Hordika Anawa. 8741, Toa Hordika Nuju. 8736, Toa Hordika Vakama. 8737, Toa Hordika Nokama. And 8740, Toa Hordika Mattow. Considering they are all clone sets of the exact same build, they all have approximately 48 pieces, and at time of release, were about $9. Obviously, this has been very often requested, and a lot of people expect me to tear these guys limb from spindly limb. We're going to look at this a bit objectively, not subjectively. So let's get started. Story-wise, it's pretty obvious these are the Toa Metru from the prior year. Unfortunately, they have been caught in a terrible trap while trying to rescue the Matoran, and have been turned into half hero, half beast. So, obligatory comparison. From left to right, as soon as I can untangle them from a blind cord, we have Winua, Anawa, Nuju. Yep. We're just sending things flying all over the place. Nuju. Vakama. The soon to be difficult to see Nokama. And way over here, Mattow. So there you go. There's your comparison. If you have an easy time actually seeing the comparison, great. Pause here, because we're not going to be reviewing the Toa Metru this go around. That is another video. Obviously, comparison-wise, the Toa Hordika are far more spindly than the Toa Metru. They're far more gappy. The Toa Metru are a lot more solid of sets. Toa Metru also contain definitely a more, I don't know how to put it, biomechanic look, if that makes sense. The Toa Hordika definitely have a lot more solid, flat areas on them, I would personally say. But with that out of the way, and the Toa Metru out of the way, let's get on with the review. And as always, let's start with the pros. Pros would definitely be the large amounts of articulation. As with the Toa Metru, they contain a new, I believe it's called ball and socket system. However, that may be the Hero Factory building system. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have 3 points of articulation in the feet and legs, 3 points of articulation in the right arm, 2 in the left, and 1 in the neck, which is now pretty much standard except for the left arm. Another pro I would have to say would be the team cohesion. Granted, they are all clone sets, so they're exactly the same. You get one, you've pretty much gotten them all. But they do look like a solidified team. Another pro I would have to say is the consistent color scheme. All of them contain a very consistent color scheme of a primary, aka dark red, dark blue, so on and so forth, gray, and silver. Very often not differentiating. Another pro I would have to say would be their weapons. A lot of the weapons are quote-unquote dual function. Well, actually none of them are dual function, but they do retain kind of a dual feature, having a hard plastic bottom tool and then a soft rubbery plastic on the upper. Vakama's blazer claws being rubbery fire, Nokama with these weird hook things, Mattow with his blades, and so on and so forth. The only one that actually really maintains resemblance to the prior form would be Anawa with his rock club throwing things. I really forget the name of them. Go ahead and put that back on. So that's kind of neat. Another pro would be the consistency from their prior forms in regard to the eye colors. For commas, light green, no comma, orange, so on, so forth. Another pro I would have to say would be the functions. Now the Toa Hordika, they all contain approximately 2 functions. Not even approximately, it's 2 gosh dang functions. First function is in the right arm, which is longer than the left. You turn a gear here, the lower arm will move up and down accordingly. Unfortunately, and please correct me if I'm wrong, these are the final canister sets to contain some form of gear function of this sort. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you guys will. The second function, each of the Hordika contain a Ripcord. This belongs to the launcher of the year, the Ripcord spinner. Now with the Hordika, story-wise, the Ripcord spinner powers are elemental. So this is fire, ice, water, so on and so forth. In order to use the Ripcord spinner, you take this Ripcord, place it in here, and when you pull, well, that worked. The Ripcord spinner will be sent flying. Warning, I'm not responsible for any lost Ripcord spinner. That's your own fault. So there you have it. So overall, the Hordika are not exactly the greatest re-representation. However, they are definitely unique in their own right. One final thing to mention, Winua does come with, I'd say, one more function in his tools. The set should come like this. You place the upper part of the tool in this little socket here. Now, yeah, there we go. It's like a drill. Blam, 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 blam. Jackhammer. There we go. So that's kind of cool. Just figured I'd mention that. Unfortunately, as with every set, as no set is perfect, there are cons, and the Hordika have many. So let's get into that. Right off the bat, the Hordika's first con is that they are extremely, and I mean very extremely, gappy. Their torso design is very, very open. I mean, a lot of gaps right here. Even their legs are far more gappier. This does make for a very empty and open design, which does not look all too favorable. Another con I would have to say is their spindly look. They are very thin, especially in this arm and their legs. And this arm. It definitely, when I say that it was not a very good re-representation of Toa Metru, I mean it is not a good representation of Toa Metru at all. Gone is the solid look, completely vanished. Now they are very spindly. Now the con would be in their left arm. Unfortunately, it is a Toamata limb, meaning that there is no posability whatsoever. Which brings me to another con, and some may find this to be a con. Asymmetry. An unexplainable asymmetry at that. Granted, it may be to keep the piece count low, but still. These arms could have been used on both sides, and I do not understand why they were not. Another con I would have to say would be they're all the same. Aside from the molded weapons and heads, there is absolutely nothing different about any of them, which is why I've not warranted any separate videos for any reason whatsoever. Now the con would be the blue pins, obligatory, that break up the color scheme in each and every single one of them. Another con would be that there is no way to clamp down the Ripcord, at least not on these guys. So if you're fiddling around with them, look at that, it fell. So there you have it. The Hordika pretty much in a nutshell. Are they good sets? I'll be honest, they're not the worst sets. They're definitely not the worst clone sets. They do hold up in the respect that they have plenty of articulation, and their playability factor is actually fairly high. The Ripcord spinner adds a lot of functionality and playability to the set, as well as the right arm. Unfortunately, they really fall as being representations of the Toa Metru, in which case they're not the greatest sets. You do not look at these guys seen even Rahi-like. They just don't look like good guys, pretty much at all. So, there you have it. The Toa Hordika. Hero or beast? Figure out which one they are for yourself. Would I recommend them? Maybe a couple of them. But overall, they're the same. You're not missing out if you don't get them all. There you have it, the Toa Hordika. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. If there's anything that I've messed up on or have forgotten, please let me know in the comments below. I know you all will. Thank you all very much for watching, and join me next week when I go over their arch nemesis, the Visorak. Again, thank you for watching. See you all next week.